Alright folks, let's get this show on the road. This video is going to be a little bit different from most of the things you've seen me do, in the sense that I'm not reviewing anything in this case. I am going to announce the YouTube memberships that I'm kicking off, and I'll explain why and my reasoning and what I'm looking to achieve. But also it's been pointed out to me that I should really spend a couple of minutes on my background and who I am and what I do and why I do it. Well, as most of you know, my name is Ilya and I'm the Dark Lord of Optics. I did not come up with the Dark Lord of Optics thing. Somebody else called me that and it kind of stuck, and it's the type of a nerdy tongue-in-cheek thing that I like. If you're trying to place the accent, I grew up in Russia, I came to America as a teenager and finished high school, college, grad school and all that here. My original background is in optics. I went to California Institute of Technology in Pasadena and got a degree in engineering and applied science, primarily applied physics, optoelectronics, electro-optics. My regional expertise was really fibers and lasers, telecommunications related things, but once I got out of college, instead of going to grad school, I went and did a couple of startups here and there, and then I worked for a couple of larger aerospace companies. And what happened is that about 3-4 years into my professional career, I transitioned into imaging. I started working on image sensors for space-based astronomy, land-based astronomy, satellite surveillance, thermal imaging systems, night vision goggles, night vision weapon sights, thermal weapon sights, that kind of stuff. So technically my field of expertise is imaging and targeting systems, and the methods of characterizing and testing them and figuring out how they work and how well they work. I got into guns and shooting when I was wrapping up with college. There's a story to that I can tell if you guys are interested on a different day, maybe a good topic for a Q&A. But suffice to say, I bought a handgun, I bought a rifle, I bought a scope. It was a cheap Chinese Leapers rifle scope. I knew nothing about rifle scopes at the time, but I had a good background in optics. And I figured, okay, well, I could probably figure this out. This scope didn't work worth shit, quickly crapped out on me and all that. I hit the internet looking for answers, and that's when interesting things happened. I started getting answers that made no sense. Now, mind you, I did not know much of anything about rifle scopes. Or honestly, not really about optomechanical systems as much. In theory, yeah, but in terms of work, I had not really worked with any of that kind of stuff before. But if you have some basic understanding of optics and imaging systems, and I did, the answers I got did not make sense. So I started digging into this a little bit, looking at different products and testing them and answering questions and having conversations with people, many arguments. Fast forward by a few years, and I found that I enjoyed testing different rifle scopes, binoculars and such. And I started writing up my impressions so that if I'm having an argument with someone, I could just go and reference what I've already written. I don't have to repeat everything multiple times in a row. So that was sort of the first step. Then the good folks at SWFA took notice, and they made me a deal. They allowed me to buy whatever they had in stock if I was interested in something, at a discount, so that I could buy something, test it, write it up, and assuming it wasn't too beat up, I could sell it and not lose too much money. And that's really what got me into this business. Otherwise, it would be financially prohibitive. The nice thing that they did is that if it was their scope or somebody else's scope, whatever it was, they could not care less what I say. I could say good things, I could say bad things. It was all the same to them. Not everybody is quite that forward-thinking, as I've learned over the years. Well, fast forward 24 years, something like that. I don't remember exactly when I started, but I'm in my mid-40s. I started around that time. I was coming out of college, so do the math. And here we are. Originally, I never planned to do anything for YouTube. I started recording basic videos primarily because there was a lot of information, especially after SHOT Show, and just sitting in front of the camera and talking was a really good way for me to retain that. So that later I could write it up. But since I already had a video, I figured I'll just blast it on YouTube, unedited, completely as is, and people started watching and making comments. And I've been kind of, I'm sorry to say, half-assing it for a while because I didn't want to really deal with this too much. I like writing. And then things really changed. The first and obvious thing that changed, people started watching my videos and asking me good questions, and I like answering questions. One of the things I really enjoy, they make me think, and I like that kind of stuff. And another thing that happened a little bit more recently is that the good folks at Guns and Ammo Special Interest Publications asked me if I can write about optics and guns and a few other things for them, so I write for these guys. These are the three latest, I think. These two are on the bookshelves. This is about to come out. Almost anything from Guns and Ammo that's not a monthly periodical, that's one of those magazines that come out once, twice a year. The book of AR-15, Precision Rifles, Shooter, Retro, Carbine, a couple others here and there, Red Dot, Viewfire. Most of them will have something from me, primarily on optics, although that is changing. As I started writing for them, one of the things I learned is that, well, I have a certain upper limit how much I can write. You just get tired. And I realized that if I'm writing for these guys and I still want to maintain my web presence and all that, and I do, recording videos is something I can do that's a little bit different, and it keeps me occupied, it keeps me interested, and I don't burn out. That was about a year ago, thereabouts. At that point I figured I should improve my YouTube game, and I've been doing it ever since. That brought in some other complications and a little bit of an incentive problem that I don't like very much. Writing, well, I get paid to write. Making videos, most YouTubers and reviewers, people like me, they make money through YouTube advertising and through affiliate links. And I've got those set up, and I make a little bit of money out of that, and it pays for my website hosting fees and a few other things. It's not a lot. I can grow it, but I'm having some serious misgivings on whether I want to. Here's why. Well, advertising is generally unreliable. I talk about guns and gun-related issues, and I'm beginning to talk more about politics and Second Amendment issues and problems we have with various Marxist movements within the US. All of this will eventually be demonetized by YouTube and companies like that because they disagree with me and they want to shut me up. And not just me, I'm a small fish, right? If I get a little bit bigger, then they want to shut me up, but for now, they are beginning to demonetize many of my videos. But that's not a big source of income. A big source of income can be affiliate marketing, where I give you a link and I post it, and if you buy something through that link, I get some cut from the retailer, manufacturer, or whoever. And that works, and people make good money on this. Except there is a little bit of a problem for me, right? If this is a business where I'm trying to make money and I make my income effectively by convincing you to buy stuff, there are two things that happen. One, I am incentivized to always push it towards something more expensive because then I make more money. Or, as in the current market, to something that is in stock because you know what's happening now. It's August 2020, prior to the election, everything is sold out. So if I want to make money in the field of marketing, I shouldn't really be recommending something that is good. I should be recommending something that is in stock. It's not the same thing. Because if I recommend you something you can buy, I don't make any money. Right? I'm uncomfortable with that. I like the idea of only being beholden to my audience. I do not want to be beholden to retailers, manufacturers, you name it. I just don't think it's healthy. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody who does this is sold out. No, they're not. Most of them are not. Most of them are good people trying to do the right thing. However, it's a juggling game that is not so easy to play, and most importantly, I really don't want to play it. As simple as that. Well, now YouTube comes along, and I think they decided that they want to take some business away from Patreon, and allow YouTube memberships. If you look at the bottom of this screen, you'll see this little button next to subscribe. It says join. In this approach, I like more. If people who want to support the channel join, and there are 3 different membership levels, I'll go over that in a sec, and you choose to support my channel, then I can completely ignore the whole affiliate marketing business, and then my conscience is clear, and I'm only beholden to you guys, and my only interest is in providing accurate and reliable information to educate you on things related to optics or other things as may come along, and to help you in your purchasing decision, selections, configurations, how to set up your firearms with proper sighting systems and things like that. That's the stuff I enjoy doing. I do not like trying to appease the manufacturers, and I generally don't, and there are quite a few manufacturers out there, and you guys know who you are. If you mention my name, they'll basically go like this, spray you with holy water, all that sort of stuff. Because there are a good number of them that will only send a product out to somebody who guarantees good reviews, and I don't. Some are good, some are bad. It is what it is, and it is a take it or leave it kind of thing. But if I were dependent on, for example, advertising from optics manufacturers, which I do not accept at this stage, and don't plan to, or on just the retailers, well, and then it becomes more and more difficult to say bad things about bad products. You have to do we used to call this the gunwriter speak, right? Something is amazing, it's very good. If something is very respectable, that means it's shit, right? I don't want to force anybody to translate what terminology means. If it's shit, I want to be able to call it shit. If it's good, I want to be able to call it good. And I do not want to be worried about stepping on any toes. And that's where you guys come in. If you find it in your heart to support the channel, I will try to provide some perks for you, but most importantly, I will that's a nice way of saying this, I will never have a case of split loyalties. My loyalty should be to my audience, to you guys. And that's the way I want to keep it. Here's how I'm going to set up the membership levels. I'm new at this. This can be modified. There's going to be Optics Enthusiasts at $5 a month, Optics Connoisseur at $10 a month, and Optics VIP at $20 a month. I'm still trying to figure out what I can offer you guys for being a member of the channel, and that will probably evolve as we go along, because I'm talking to a few companies and see what they're willing to do. But by and large, for the first tier, for the Optics Enthusiast, the videos I post will be first for a week or so for members only, then I'm going to release them into the wild. All the videos I do for the most part should be going into the wild eventually. And another thing that I'm going to do, I started doing these live streams, and I'm beginning to get a lot of questions. So live streams are getting longer and longer. So as we go forward, for most of the live streams, I'm going to restrict the people who can pose questions in real time to members only. Next step up is the Optics Connoisseur, which basically gets all the same perks, except I'm talking to a few manufacturers to offer discounted merchandise, and I'm also planning to do some optics giveaways. I'll touch on that in a moment. The highest tier is Optics VIP, which has all of the above, but also you guys get first priority on personalized device and troubleshooting. If you're running into issues, I will be happy to help you out. One of the issues I'm facing right now is that at the moment, I'm getting about 10 to 15 questions each day that that are not yes or no questions. I actually have to think about this. And it's taking me a lot of time, and their number is steadily growing. And that introduces a complication for me. One of the things I enjoy the most is answering questions and helping people out. I like doing that. But I also have a day job and a family and a side job and another side job. I do a ton of different things. I am running into a wall in terms of time. Does that mean I'm going to stop answering questions? No, it does not. What it does mean is that as the number of questions I get increases, I have to prioritize. And I will be answering questions of members of the Dr. Optics channel first. That takes precedence over all the other questions I get. And I get questions on Facebook, Instagram, different forums, through my website and all that sort of stuff. People who are generous enough to financially support the channel get first priority. There will be a membership panel, if you are a member, where you can communicate with me directly and ask me questions. And if it's relevant, I'll make videos around your questions. If it's something I can do in print, I'll type it up and write it out. There are multiple different ways of doing this. Okay. Now, something I mentioned earlier, I am talking to a few optics manufacturers to see if they're willing to offer some sort of a discount to the members of the channel, people who are willing to financially support the DLO channel. The idea of the discount is that it's not affiliate marketing. I don't get a kickback. I want my financial interest to be with you guys. That's it. If they are willing to offer some sort of a discount, great. If they're not, well, they're not. I can't force them. They're doing good business now. What I can do periodic giveaways of different rifle scopes that have been sent to me that I can buy from manufacturers. Usually if some scope is sent to me for a review, I can usually buy from them at a discount. Basically, I will do periodic giveaways, kind of a raffle off to members only, right? Have my daughter pull a number out of the hat, something like that, and I will send you different scopes. You'll just have to share with me where to send it. I don't know yet what shape it's going to look like. It depends on how many people sign up and depends on what I have available. But if you look around you at any given time, I've got a bunch of stuff laying around here, and I'm reasonably confident I can convince a few optics manufacturers to provide products for these type of giveaways, because on one hand it's marketing for them, on the other hand I do not have a financial interest in making them happy. I only have an interest in making you guys happy. Alright? But anyhow, so that's pretty much what I want to announce. The memberships are about to go live. This is recorded on August 29th, 2020, which happens to be my wedding anniversary. I have the house to myself for a couple hours, and that's where we are. I hope that this will work well enough for me to be able to do more. One of the things I realized is that I've been half-assing this whole video thing for a little while, getting incrementally better. However, I don't like half-assing anything, honestly. If I'm doing something, I want to do it well. And you guys can help me do that. Thank you for watching.